I'm Chelsea Peitz, and I'm the National Director of Social Sales for the Fidelity National Financial Brands of Companies nationwide. And I started in real estate about 21 years ago. I like to joke and tell people that I got my real estate license in 2001 BF, the BF before Facebook. So working with buyers and sellers in the real estate world before really this technology, before video, before social media. And in the last 10 years, I've really focused and honed my skills using digital strategies with sort of old school, traditional, community-focused relationship building. I grew my brand before I started video marketing very traditionally, face-to-face, showing up and teaching classes, speaking at conferences. And it was a very slow growth. It was more of a traditional style where you're connecting with people, maybe you're breaking bread over lunches or dinners, you're at conferences, you're on stages. And in the beginning of my speaking career and educating the real estate community on how to build their own brands, it really didn't occur to me at the time that I was a brand. And I realized there was something really special about being able to see someone that may not physically be in the same area that you are, that may be talking to you through your mobile device or through your computer. And so I didn't really think proactively about creating a brand for myself. And now that I've created sort of this personal brand with some insights and with some intention, I have a very different way that I'm sharing that brand than in the first 5 to 10 years of my career in real estate. So it's vastly different now. Using video has absolutely made me more successful in not only sharing a message of education, empowering a community, connecting with people across the globe. I can't say enough positive comments about how using something as simple as my phone and pulling out my phone and talking to it, which if you were to tell me 20 years ago, you're gonna talk to your phone every day and it's gonna change your life and you're gonna meet all these incredible people and have all these opportunities and you are going to create genuine, human, real friendships and relationships with people you will never meet in person, I would have thought that was completely bizarre. So what's happened with using video is that people can build this trust. I can actually become more human, in my opinion, through technology. And I know that sounds like a juxtaposition of people thinking, well, there's nothing that replaces the belly-to-belly, the face-to-face, and yes, all of that is important too. However, I can open up my device that all of us have. We have this movie studio at our fingertips at any time, where I can open up that device and I can reach thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of people to not only share my passion of helping them grow their brand and their business and generate leads and create connections, but also to give them a look into who I am as a person, as a mom, as a wife, as a business person. So video has absolutely changed the trajectory of where I think I would have been had I not really went all in on video. I think it's about 6 years now that I have been on camera every single day for the last 6 years. I don't even know how many days that is. Somebody's gonna have to do the math. But that is, I think, a testament to being all in on something. To see when this shift happens, and you're like, wow, this actually is hugely impactful. Today, we're talking about Facebook stories. Using video specifically to share my brand and my message with a community of people, one that I already knew. They got to see me and see my face, and there's something really incredible that happens to our brains when we see faces. And I have such a passion about the psychology of media and marketing and how our brains work when we connect with people. And what I realized when I started doing a lot of this research about cameras and how we communicate through them and our brains, it was fascinating to me to realize that our brains have no idea if I'm actually in the room with you or if I'm on the other side of a device. The neurons fire in the same way. And what happens after a certain period of time, if I see somebody again and again and again, my brain actually starts to kind of have this pattern just for their face. And so we start to feel like we like, know, and trust people when in many cases we've never physically met them. Watching faces as babies and children and adults is how we learn to interact with the world. At the beginning, I hated video. I was nervous, I would sweat, I hated my voice. One eye I swore was crossing. It was awful. It was terrible. And I thought, this isn't for me. I don't think I can do this video thing. And I forced myself to do it. And I got better, and I got better, and I got more comfortable. And there are still times after 6 years every day on camera where I waver and I think, I don't know, is that good enough? Is this what I want to do? It kind of sounded not so great. And I'm really, hard on my own content sometimes, and I overthink it. You're not going to get comfortable on camera until you do it every day for a really, really, really long time. Yep. I did it every single day for a really long time, and I hated a lot of it. I hated it. I hated how my voice sounded. I hated how I looked. Like it just was awful for me. And I say that because I want people to know, if you're just at the beginning of your video content creation, it's okay. You will get better. You will get more comfortable. And even if you're in it 6, 7, 12 years, there are still going to be days where you think, that wasn't great. I'm not really in the mood to make a video. And that's okay too, because overall, you're not going to be able to become a more advanced video content creator unless you show up and you do it and you do it again and you do it again. And just so everyone knows, I didn't watch my own videos back for 3 straight years because I knew if I did, I was gonna give up. And would I have gotten better, faster if I had watched myself back? I believe it 100%, but I also know myself really well. So I decided I'm not gonna watch myself back, and I kept with it, and I've met the most incredible people and opportunities through watching their videos, sending them messages, people watching my videos, sending messages through social media. It's incredible the connectivity that you can have. You have an opportunity to be at the top of your friends' feeds with your little title and your little face and your story that can build brand awareness for free. Quantifying the impact of video marketing, it definitely can be done, and there are going to be essentially half of the group that you ever talk to about video marketing or marketing in general. They're going to be very focused on key performance indicators and metrics and tracking. And luckily, there are some incredible ways that we can track our video performance. And that may be very important to your particular business. For others, it may be more about not having a definitive number of an ROI, a timeline. When will this start to get me business? When will this turn in? If I do 5 videos, will I get 1 lead? All of those sort of correlations. And we're human. We like to have a framework. We want people to tell us when this is going to happen. A plus B equals C, right? And what I personally have decided for myself is I want to take the stress out of content creation, video content creation, being in front of the video. For me, I want this to be something that I'm excited about, that I'm passionate about, that I get up and say, I want to do this every day. And when I stop wanting to do it every day, which hasn't been ever, then I'll know it's time to make a change. So for me, when I get into the ROI questions, the metrics, how will I know when this is working? How fast will it work? How many videos do I need to do? How many videos will I need to do to get better? The ROI may be difficult in some cases to measure. You might be able to measure metrics like views and likes and shares and all of those things that are very important. It may or may not lead directly to someone who's watching and has been watching every single one of your videos for 3 years, that's never said one thing, that's never reached out, never answered your call to action, never clicked your link until 3 years later when they needed it to. Is my video that I put out and all of those videos not worthwhile because somebody didn't click on it every single time? I say no. You never know who's watching. You never know when you're going to connect with someone. That video that you thought wasn't that great might actually be the video somebody needed to watch. Growing a brand through video does require a bit of strategy, and one of the ways that I started in video is I started thinking about how can I show up and have sustainable video content, and how can I also position myself as someone who is a resource, someone who's helpful. I wanted to be seen as the helper. My superpower, which I didn't know at the time until I spent many years making videos, is that I like to make hard things easy. I like to break things down, help people understand how to do them. Because I'm very formulaic. I need somebody to tell me exactly how to do something. I need a recipe, I need a template, I need an example. That's just how my brain works. And I like to be very tactical about it, because one of the things that really frustrated me is I would go to conferences and watch videos and listen to podcasts, and I would be very excited to learn all these secrets, and then it was very sort of high level. And I said, no, I want somebody to show me the buttons. Give me the steps and tell me what to say. That's how my brain worked. So I just started making content, video content, that I wanted to watch. And I think that's a really safe place to start for many of us. And we overthink and we overthink and we think, oh my gosh, like, I don't know, what if I say the wrong thing, or what if I can't think of something to say? I'm starting with video content I wanted to watch. What I wanted is somebody to help me understand some of the complex things about a topic that I was interested in. You know, there's educational, which I feel sort of your bread and butter content. That's the part where you can really shine, you're credible, you have authority, you can become that resource. Educational content, I think, is one of the easiest things that we can start making. I'm gonna actually go to the search page, and I'm gonna show you how, you know, even the big accounts, the influencers, the famous people, all do their hashtag research, okay? We have entertaining content is the second E. Now this one is a little tricky. When we say entertaining, it strikes fear in the hearts of many people. They think, oh my gosh, that means I have to dance, I have to be funny, I have to do something out of the box. Absolutely not. There are so many different ways that you can be entertaining, meaning show your personality. You know, if you are somebody who likes to say, you know, mom jokes, I do that a lot. I think, oh, that was a mom joke. Or if you have a passion or a hobby, or if you just want to show your cute dog, that's entertaining. There's a variety of ways to be entertaining with your content. The third E is engaging, and this probably might be a little bit easier than educational. This is when you're asking people questions. And when I use engaging content, I find that that is so easy to get people to start talking to you. And the whole goal is conversations lead to conversions. We want to have as many conversations as we possibly can. And that conversation, by the way, I consider video, me talking to the screen, that's a conversation. Yes, comments, direct messages, emails, all of those things are conversations as well, but you get to have a conversation with someone. You may not know they're talking back or listening back, but you are having that conversation. So the more opportunities you have to create that conversation, I think is a great way to help your reach and engagement. And also, you know, people get to know you through those conversations, whether it's in the comments and the direct messages. So when you ask people questions, you ask them for advice, you ask them for recommendations, that's such an easy way to make content. And guess what? You don't even have to make the content. You're asking them to make the content for you. So we've got educational, entertaining, engaging. The next E is emotional. And I'm not suggesting that you have to go on camera and start crying. If you want to, if that's part of the story, if it's part of your brand, if it's important to you, absolutely. But I do want to impress upon the viewers that there is something really magical that happens when you're human and relatable. And that's what I mean by emotional, is all the things that we all go through as human beings. I have this phrase that I say that there's magic in the mundane. A lot of people, when they're making especially video content, say, man, I don't know what to say. I feel like I'm kind of a boring person, or my industry is boring, or my topic is boring. And it's important to remember that by sharing those human things that we all sit around the dinner table and talk to friends and family about, which honestly aren't that exciting if you think about it, things that happen in your day-to-day, what's going on with your cousin in another state. Now, those aren't technically things that are super exciting, but they're very human and emotional and relatable. And relatability, I think, is the most under-leveraged marketing strategy today. And then the fifth and final E, which is my favorite, is exclusive. And I want to spend some time talking about exclusive because a lot of people think exclusive has to be this really big over the top surprise that nobody knows about, a grand opening or whatever it might be. And it totally can be those things. I want you to think about exclusive in a different way. That connecting as a human being and showing up every single day, and I'm not suggesting everybody needs to show up every day in video, in a micro content video way. For me, that particular format is the stories format. I love these little bite-sized video clips that now you can create anywhere. It's your phone and social media. And you don't even have to post those on social media. I can pull out my phone and use that camera that's built into one of those social platforms, save it, send it to someone. It's this idea of these bite-sized pieces of content that people can see, these clips of me throughout my day, but it's almost like they're a guest star, if you will. They get to come with me, and I get to bring them and show them what's happening in my life, good, bad, and different, funny. And for me, the video micro content where I'm using stories on a daily basis to, again, talk about the mundane. I don't always have some exciting marketing tip to give. I don't have some exciting vacation I'm going on every week, but I'm talking about the things that are happening to me and the content that is all around us and engaging in the most human way I possibly can by showing my face, by talking to people, and by having these private, one-to-one, not public, open to many conversations to really go deep with my community, which in my opinion is way more important than going wide and trying to, necessarily connect with as many people as I can. It is important to have that reach, and video for me has definitely provided that.
And that content works for you when you are not in the office.
Using video has made selling so much easier, in my opinion, because it accelerates that trust. It accelerates that credibility. If I were getting referred to someone that I didn't know, and that person maybe had 5 videos or 25 videos or 500 videos, immediately I have something that I can view, I can consume at my own time. It could be 2 in the morning if I want to. I can get a sense of who they are, if they seem knowledgeable, credible. And so for me, it's an accelerant. It accelerates the trust. It almost helps them make the decision in many times to decide to work with you before you've even had the meeting. Whether your meeting is virtual or you're actually in their house, you're doing a listing presentation, you're in your office. If I continue to watch your content, hear your voice, see your face, build that likability, trust factor, I'm already likely going to make some sort of decision, even if I'm unaware of it. And oftentimes we are completely unaware that we've made this subconscious decision to either sort of like someone or trust them. It really makes the selling process not even selling, it sells for you. Nothing to do with ego or fame. It's simply about communicating in the most human way possible, eye to eye, screen to screen, at a literal arm's length. I think a lot of people are intimidated by video content and have an idea or an assumption that often isn't true, that you have to have a lot of experience, that you have to have a camera presence, that you have to be a camera-ready person, and all of those, I'm living proof, all of those are skills that you can learn. I did not appear on camera 8 years ago as I now appear on camera after I've done many practice sessions, daily video sessions, and as I speak about me personally, my preferred video content is a daily micro content. And even that can sound overwhelming, thinking of, wow, do I have to come up with something every single day to create a video around? The answer is no. You can create one incredible video and you can leverage that one video in a variety of capacities, whether you're going to be remarketing it, whether you're editing it, whether you're cutting it down and posting it somewhere else. You can do so many things with your video. I think that the most important thing to remember is you can start with anything. You can start with your phone. I still shoot with my phone. Every single video I do, whether I'm editing it or not editing it, it's 10 minutes long or 10 seconds long, I use my phone. Yes, I've purchased some equipment as I've gone through the last 6 years, but I haven't let not having the knowledge or the experience stop me, because I realized in life I'm not going to have the experience if I don't actively do the thing. And it's okay. We always think, oh my gosh, these people are gonna know that this is my third video and it's terrible and they're never gonna wanna work with me or hire me. And we get into our own heads about that. And oftentimes other people who are consuming our content are not looking at it in that way. They're thinking about themselves. They just want the information. If you're giving it to them, then they're going to be satisfied. So it's really not having a specific level of expertise when you are starting your video journey. It's about committing to it, being consistent with it, and perhaps even switching that mindset to, it's not gonna be perfect. I'm not trained in being in front of a camera. I don't have editing expertise. Everything can be learned. You can find incredible people that can help you, and you can absolutely create amazing video content without any experience, which is the beauty of being in the age that we are at with technology.
My tip for this as well is, since this is a very new medium, I highly recommend that you give people like 4 steps on how to do it.
The best part about video is that anyone can do it. Anyone can create a video. Anyone can create success with video. You don't have to have extensive experience. You don't have to have certain technology. As long as you have a phone, you can do this, or a laptop. You don't have to invest in a bunch of equipment. You don't have to have amazing lighting. Lighting does work, but you can use a lamp and take the lampshade off, sit in front of a window. These ideas that you have to sound a certain way, have enough experience, have to look a certain way to be successful on video are all stories we tell ourselves. These are all things that we tell ourselves: insecurities, imposter syndrome, feeling less than, and that is human. And that is something that I know I personally have experienced and will continue to experience throughout my life. And it is not true. It is not true that you have to have a certain level of experience. You have to sound a certain way. You have to have, 1,200 video hours in your past. Anyone can be successful with video.
Posted it to Facebook. People went crazy.
Authenticity is one of my least favorite words, for the reason that it's often overused and underexplained. It's critical in how you can leverage technology, your phone, your computer, to be more human. And I think that when we throw around words like authenticity, it's this concept, right? It's an idea. And it's hard to be very tactical and specific about, well, here's how you be authentic on camera. And one of the ways that I like to tactically think of authenticity is that human piece, is the magic in the mundane, is the sharing bits and pieces of the behind the scenes of your life that allow people to relate to you. For example, I'm a mom, and so I talk about things that possibly other moms are going through. I also talk about things that happen when I'm on a virtual meeting, or things that aren't great, like when I have to replace all 4 of my tires and I wasn't expecting that. Those seem like really kind of mundane, boring topics. Showing your personality, smiling is important, and connecting with your audience. Those are all bits and pieces of being authentic.
So I'm really giving Instagram my all. I'm really teaching there. I'm very focused there. And it's a great way to communicate and get to know me because you'll get to see my stories. So
content can always be led with a story, whether it's a personal story, an example. And when you're telling that story, just as we tell our kids stories or read them books, there's something about the ability to bring people with you or bring people through sort of this arc. And it doesn't mean that you have to sit down and create a video and have, this is my intro, these are my bullet points, this is my ending, this is my call to action. All of those components are really important, right? As to any good video, because you want to have structure, you want to be able to get people engaged, keep them engaged, get excited, tease out what the content is you're going to talk about. But when you're starting out, that's a lot to remember. That might be something that stops you in your tracks because you're already like, no, this is not my wheelhouse, this is not my forte if I got to figure out an intro and get people engaged and remember a call to action. So I want you to think about content as just telling a story. And it can be something as simple as a quick 10-second video saying, hi, here's who I am, here's how I got into the industry. I've got 3 dogs and 2 kids, and I like to cook pasta on the weekends. That is a story. You're gonna hear all of these experts tell you, simply just do it. And I think that you knew that probably coming into this incredible, amazing event. And yes, that is the best advice that I can give you, is to just start. To start anywhere. It doesn't matter if you start at the beginning or at the end or in the middle. Starting is the most important thing. I would not recommend that you start using video unless you absolutely want to explode your brand at scale and connect with people across the world that you never thought you could connect with. It truly has impacted my life and business in ways that I never even imagined were possible. If that's not something that you want to do, then video may not be the way for you to go. If you want to grow your business, if you want to grow your brand, if you want to connect and create a community of people that want to work with you and refer you to everyone that they know, then this is the format that you need to start embracing and doing now.